I start to set off with a tune here for you called the Love You Girl Polka. Kocham Cię Dziewczę. Here we go.
Here we go.
This afternoon, right here in Doylestown. We're going to feature Jack on the vocals and do a song here entitled The Reminiscing
Well, we're
Time.
back here, and glad to see a couple people are online joining us. We'll start off with Bob Saharsky down there in Brightsburg, PA, outside of Philadelphia.
Shout out to George the Greek.
Good seeing you again.
George the
here
Greek
online.
from New Jersey.
Donna Malinowski, all the way up
Just
from
over the
upstate
border.
New York there, past the capital region. Thanks for
Very shy, man.
Thanks for hooking up with
Very
us.
Shy, very quiet.
Appreciate that there, Donna. And say hi to Ed. I hope that both of you are enjoying the Labor Day weekend. And thanks for watching the live video here of John Stevens at the Shrine in Alina Chensova, Doylestown, Pennsylvania. Tom Sanaki out there in Muskegon. He just had this band out there for the Muskegon Polish days. So he gets a chance to watch us performing here at our Shrine. Doylestown, Pennsylvania. John Wisniewski, hello John. Good to see you. Hope you and Christine are having a great Labor Day holiday. And last but not least, John Briscoe out there in Connecticut. Hope sounds like they're in Jersey now. Safe travels. Labor Day weekend driving can be kind of horrendous. Take it slow and safe. Wow, wow, wow. Popular by running a boat down the bush called Reminiscing Time.
entitled The Reminiscent Time. We also have a request for one of the figure dances, and we do the Bumpsy Daisy right now for you. The Bumpsy Daisy coming at you.
Hi, how are you?
Well, while we get a little break in the action, just want to say hi again to everybody, and thanks for joining us here. This is the Labor Day portion of the Shrine of Our Lady of Częstochowa's Polish American Festival. This is the last day for this weekend, and they'll be back next Saturday and Sunday with all of the entertainment, including a couple of polka bands. Bands like John Gooda will also be here, and I'm sure there'll be a lot of that stuff they call disco polo. And so yeah, it looks like they're taking a break here just to figure out what they're going to play. So as soon as possible, we'll get back with more music for you.
Here we go, a song entitled The Bumpsy Daisy. Called the Bumpsy Daisy there for all the figure dancers. All right, let's do an obedic here for you right now.
Hey Frank, how you doing, man?
Good. How are you? I didn't want to get in the way of your...
You're fine. You're fine. I'm just speaking with Frankie Kolodziejski. He's going to be playing clarinet and sax with the Eddie Foreman Orchestra.
All right, so
in a little
here we
bit.
go. Nice obedic
When
for you.
they
We'll do
come up
a
at
tune called the
4 o'clock.
Sparkling Eyes obedic.
So look
Tune
forward
from
to
Joan
some great
Bareilles, our
sounds
very first
by
recording.
the Eddie Foreman Orchestra here at the Shrine.
Walk around, spend a few dollars here at the festival. Lots of great tasting Polish food available. Also, something for everyone, including the kids. We've got all the carnival rides over there. When we're done at 3:30, Paul is going to ride the Ferris wheel. We're going to buy him about 22 passes, and we just want them to keep it running. Yeah. All right, so here we go. 2 for you, Cole. Sparkling Eyes.
It's not like it's a light on the
It was that night when I looked in your eyes. You smiled at me, you twinkled your eyes. It was a surprise and I realized that, darling, it was the sweet sparkling eyes. Look at me, darling, and tell me you're mine. Show me your twinkle just one more time. Love me, oh love me, that's what my heart cried. Yes, darling, it was the sweet sparkling eyes. Was that night that I looked in your eyes? You smiled at me, you twinkled your eyes. It was a surprise and I realized that, darling, it was the sweet sparkling eyes. There you go from Joe Moritas. That's a tune entitled The Sparkling Eyes. Oh, better. All right, let's do a nice waltz here for you.
You think they write your autograph or
I'll do a tune here for you called The White Roses
I don't
Waltz.
know who's worse, the drone bees that are flying around here, or the flies. And every time you turn around, there's another bee buzzing around here on your feet, and
all the way from the great
flies
state of
buzzing. Well, that's the country for you. And it is hot and humid, and this time of year they're a little more aggressive because
Okay, next weekend the
getting
festival
close to the fall.
continues on Saturday and Sunday. A lot of great entertainment, including the John Gore Band from Canada, along with the Polka family. You've got Robbie Lawrence and TKO, many others. They're all going to be here next weekend as they have weekend number 2 of the Polish American Festival right here in
And we'll
Doylestown.
wait for them to start up again. Tom
So right now,
Bonovich, thanks for joining us from Ohio.
Roses
We're here
Waltz.
at Doylestown, Pennsylvania for the annual Shrines Polish Fest. G. Marie, they're in Little Ferry, New Jersey. G. Marie, I hope you and Hank are having a safe and wonderful Labor Day holiday. And thanks for joining us again here live on Facebook. As John Stevens is now playing a waltz, and you and Hank get up and dance.
Yeah. These two roses are for you. No one else will ever do. You're my God here. These two roses are for you. All I ask is please be true. If you love me through the year, the months, the hours, then forever you'll receive bouquets of flowers. There's two roses in my garden just for you. Please love me, 'cause I love you. Here you go. For all of our wall dancers out there, that's a tune being called The White Roses.
I want to say hello to a couple of other folks who are joining us here on this live feed from the Shrine of Our Lady of Chenstohova in Doylestown, Pennsylvania. Joe Marcella, all the way out there in the
All the folks here from the
Buffalo
Lehigh
region,
Valley,
the Buffalo, New York
this
region.
afternoon.
Joe, thanks for tuning in and joining us here on the live feed.
Okay, check us out
with,
online at johnstevenspolka.com.
and that's John Stevens, polka band that's playing.
We're also on
And
Facebook,
Greg
too.
Schweidock.
If you like our
Greg
music,
Schweidock
follow
from the
us.
Buffalo
Stay on
Constantine
Facebook.
All-Stars. Happy
here we go.
Labor Day
Just
to
for
you
help,
too.
We'll do
And glad to see that you're online joining us here for some of the live feeds.
Oh, you love that song.
I heard you
I
did
like
a
that song, too.
great job over at the IPA warm-up.
Here we go.
So enjoy the rest of this holiday and Merry Polka. Thanks for joining us as you have done throughout the whole festival. And have a blast.
polka. We had a request for a song we did earlier, a song entitled Who Stole the Kishka Polka? And we'll send this one out to Jennifer and to Arnold here this afternoon. So for Jennifer Arnold, direct from a town called Norristown, Pennsylvania. We'll send this one your way. All right, so here we go. Tune called Who Stole the Kishka? That kishka, who stole the kishka? Who stole the kishka? Who stole the kishka? Someone call the cops. Around it, burned it fully back. It was hanging on the rack. Someone stole the kishka. When I turned my back, who stole the kishka? Who stole the kishka? Who stole the kishka? Someone call the cops. That's a song called Who Stole the Kishka Polka.
At least it's not hanging in a rack.
All right, we have a gentleman here. Uncle George has been coming here. This gentleman right up here, he's been coming here for so many years, and he's 96 years young. 96 years young, enjoying, had a great time right here at the Polish-American Festival. We're going to do two here from our brand new recording. We're going to send this out to Uncle George here. Do a song entitled Walk Right Back, a song that was
Andy
recorded years ago by
out there in the Buffalo area, Buffalo, New York.
We'll do it for you right now.
Thanks for stopping by and giving our video a look-see here. We're at the Shrine of Our Lady of Czestochowa out in Doylestown, Pennsylvania. And happy you could take some time and listening to the John Stevens Polka Band here on Labor Day. Happy Labor Day to you and the family, Andy.
I want you to tell me why you walked out on me. I'm so lonely. nothing seems to be the same old way. Think about the love that burns within my heart for you. The times we had before you went away on me. What right back to me this minute? Bring your love to me, don't send it. I'm so lonesome every day. It seems to be the same old way. Let's think about the love that burns within my heart for you. The times we had before you went away on me. One right back to me this minute. Bring your love to me, don't send it. I'm so lonesome every day. All right, we got time for about 2 more songs or so, but we also had a request for an all-time favorite.
Quick shout out here while we're taking a little bit of a breather with the band. Hank Fernandez, thank you for joining us today on the live feed here. We're in Doylestown, Pennsylvania at the Shrine of Our Lady of Częstochowa. This is their 56th annual Polish American Fest. So Hank, thank you and happy Labor Day to you. And Nancy DeRocco, glad to see you back online with us. Stick around, Eddie Foreman's going to be coming up later, 4 to 8. We got a lot more video action coming up down the pike.
song called Kukayashu. The Johnny's Lobby Polka. We have time for one more tune here before we have to sing so long and make room for our next entertainment. Of course, coming up at 4 o'clock, the great sounds of EFO, the Eddie Foreman Orchestra, will be taking the stage at 4 o'clock. We'd like to thank Teresa and all the committee here for having us once again right here at the Shrine of Our Lady of Jehovah, the Polish American Festival. We are the John Stevens Polka Gang. You can check us out online at johnstevenspolka.com. We're also on Facebook too, if you like our page there. But before we do our last song here, let's have a nice round of applause for all the guys up here entertaining this afternoon. To my right and to your left, on trumpet and vocals, let's hear it for Paul Regiment Camille. Next to little Polly, we have the one and only on trumpet and vocals, been with me for 21 years. Let's hear it for Jeff Tupel on trumpet. In the back there, junior member of the band from Mountaintop, Pennsylvania, Mr. Gary McNeilis. On accordion over here from Dallas, Pennsylvania. Also, I think he's like 6, 7 years, 8 years, I don't know what he was. You're somewhere in the mix there. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Joe Krizik.
And last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, the leader of the band, Mr. Big You Don't Mess with John Stevens!
But actually, Jeff, you should have said the gentleman who's now on vacation. Yes, I'm officially on vacation after this song. So headed to Ocean City, Maryland for a few days of R&R.
All right.
Yeah, trust me, I need it. But it's going to rain, so I'm just going to sit on the balcony and enjoy the ocean. So anyway, we're going to do one more song here for you. Folks, did you have a good time with us this afternoon? That's what we want to hear. Now keep those hands clapping. Clap them like this. There you go. My request. Some we call those Pennsylvania hills. I've been there since where I had some fun. I traveled the highways, I followed the sun. And when day is over and I lay to rest, I dream of the hills that I love. everybody. More entertainment on the way.
Mike Namias, thanks for joining us. Unfortunately, that was John Stevens' last tune. Mike, formerly from the band called Variety, and also had a band called New Chicagoleros back in the day from New Jersey. So, Mike, if you want, you can certainly, when we close out this set, you can go back and review the video from the start. And if anybody else missed any portion of the video, just go back and watch it on the rewind. It'll just say Gerard was live. Donna Stazempa, unfortunately John Stevens is done. You can watch the video at your leisure online. And thanks for the comment, Nancy DeRocco. Appreciate that. And next band up is going to be Eddie Foreman, and that's going to be at 4 o'clock. So we'll see everybody back at 4.
All weekend.